Hi, and welcome back. In this module, we're covering reference checks. Reference checks are often thought of as just the formality of the hiring process, but they can be so much more, and from a risk mitigation standpoint, can be an important check against claims of negligent hiring. At this point in the process, you've likely spent more than 3 hours with the candidates. You know who spent more time with them? Their references. So, having a conversation with someone who's known, and in many cases worked with, the candidates for years can be useful in better understanding what they need to thrive in a role and an organization. If you've managed the funnel well, you'll often come to the end of the third round with 1, 2, and sometimes even 3 or more people who might be well suited for a role and who you can hire. This is why I recommend checking references for more than one candidate, usually your top 1 to 3. It takes only about an hour of your time and can yield some important insights into how to set the candidate up for success in the new role. A couple things to keep in mind. Unless someone selected their references poorly, and I've experienced this, the references will have good things to say about the candidate. If they didn't choose their references wisely, that should probably raise a giant red flag. Additionally, because of potential liability issues, many organizations, especially larger organizations, will only let a reference confirm the dates that someone worked at the organization and maybe the title they held when they departed. This might make it a challenge for people to get references from a past employer. Keep this in mind. Also, when evaluating who people include as their references, keep in mind that there are a number of reasons why someone might not want you to contact a former employer. If you get to the reference check process and notice that none of the references were a supervisor or someone they supervised, and this is pertinent to the KSAs of the role you're hiring, you can always ask someone if they're able to provide someone who fits this description. Oftentimes, people might not want to bother a former supervisor to ask if there'll be references unless they're certain to be contacted. Always reach out to someone's references in advance to try and schedule a time to speak. I personally prefer to do this over email so that when I call, they're ready to speak. Few things are worse than calling someone, they don't know who you are, why you're calling, and the first few minutes of the call you're spent trying to clarify all of this. When scheduling, you can even repurpose your scheduling app to make coordination easier. Or, if you're having difficulty getting in touch with a reference, ask the candidate to contact them and schedule the call. Usually references are busy people who are doing a favor for the candidate. With this in mind, try to limit your conversation to 15 minutes and do it by phone unless they prefer video. An audio-only call allows them to take the call even if they're not someplace where they might typically do a video call. And it's easier for you to take detailed notes. You don't need to be maintaining eye contact.